We were supposed to film this video days ago, but this HP Eiltebook had different ideas. See, Tuesday, I set up the battery test. Then Wednesday, it was still running, and it kept on running through the whole day. I went to a party, arrived back at midnight. It was still running Thursday morning. This thing right here has over 24 hours of battery life. Let's unbox this HP Eiltebook and see if everything else is as good as the battery. What do we have here? Elitebook, go beyond. Setup instructions. Wow. All right, yep, plug it in, turn it on. In here we have this adorable little charger. As you can see, it is 65 watts, gallium nitride, which is how it's so small, and also it's USB-C, of course. As for the laptop itself, this is a pretty nice looking machine. It is blue and it is made out of aluminum, so it is pretty light, but not as light as like the Dragonfly with its magnesium previously. In total, this thing is 2.6 pounds, which is pretty good, and about 15 millimeters thick. Oh, Andy, you're complaining about the fingerprints.
Yeah.
Not only does this thing enjoy showing off your finger oils, but it also really enjoys not cleaning off super easily. Does it still look bad? It does. I almost feel like this is the kind of laptop where once you get the whole thing kind of dirty, maybe it'll just even out. For I/O, on the right side, we get USB Type-C, USB Type-A, a little Kensington lock. On the left, we have 3.5 millimeter audio, 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and HDMI 2.1. Overall, I think the I/O is pretty great for something of this size, like full-size HDMI port and USB Type-A. I really like to see it. You don't really need a dongle with it. One finger opening test. Oh, no problem. Here we have Windows Hello facial recognition, which works pretty good in my testing. And also we have a little shutter so that you can totally turn off your webcam, which does make facial recognition not work. But they also have a fingerprint reader on the power button over here. So even if you don't want anyone spying on you, you can still very easily get into your laptop. How is our build quality here? Built better than the table, that is for sure. Not built better than some laptops, but I would say it's built better than most. There's a tiny bit of chassis flex if you like really full send it, but I don't think that's going to cause us any problems with the durability or the keyboard. The display is 14 inches and 16 by 10, so you get a tiny bit more vertical space. Love to see that. And the resolution is 1920 by 1200p. Now, that is not the most resolution that you can get on a laptop these days, but for the most part at this screen size, it's all right. Like, I do find if I have 1440p, I can definitely fit like more emails and stuff on the screen at once, but I have not been really having any issues with this. Like, see pixels, where do I have to go? About this close? You're not getting that close to your computer. With a brightness of 500 nits, it is perfectly adequate, but when you add in the fact that it has a really, really nice matte coating, it actually goes pretty far. Like, let's see if I can show you the reflection with the light that's right there. It rejects it pretty good. You're not gonna be watching any like YouTube or stuff if you're outdoors in direct sunlight, but I found that I was able to work on like Word documents and stuff. No problem outdoors, and indoors it's perfectly fine. And because of that excellent matte coating, the contrast isn't incredible, the vibrance isn't incredible, but at the same time, I'm not mad at it. It covers 100% of sRGB and the colors are accurate. It's just not like stunning. Let's show you it compared to a MacBook Pro. Yep, that's not even close, as you can see, in terms of brightness and contrast and color reproduction. The MacBook screen is just way freaking better, but this one is incredibly battery efficient, which is, I imagine, how we're able to get double the battery life of this already exceptional MacBook Pro. And this one's touch. I can do that. Can't do that on an Apple. The matte screen is really good. Now, if you do want a better display, HP does have an option of a 2.8K OLED, which I'm sure will look a lot better, but I also know for sure it'll be a lot worse for your battery life. I don't have exact numbers for this one, but I know on the last gen Elitebook, the OLED would drop your battery life by like 5 to 7 hours. For performance, we get an Intel Core Ultra 7 268V that has 4 performance cores, 4 efficiency cores, and a max turbo speed of 5 gigahertz. It also only has 8 threads because hyperthreading isn't really a thing anymore. We also have 32 gigabytes of RAM running at a blistering 8533 mega transfers per second, a 500 gigabyte WD SSD, Intel Wi-Fi 7, the BE201 is an excellent Wi-Fi card and I've been seeing really quick speeds on it. We of course have an NPU if you want to make really bad art in Paint or something. And for the GPU, we have an Intel Arc 140V, which I should probably go and like do other notebook stuff on this, but I kind of want to see if it'll play Battlefield. Elgato was nice enough to send us over a 4K capture card, which is great because there is not a chance in hell that this is going to be able to screen record and game at the same time. Battlefield 6. I would like to say I've been playing a bunch of this, but I've been busy. So instead I get to test it on Intel integrated graphics. Hell yeah. For the graphics, I watched Random Gaming in HD's video on how to get this game to run on older graphics cards and kind of just emulated that. So it's 1200p at 60% resolution scaling, because for whatever reason 60 looks way better than 50, and hopefully we're able to get in here on low settings and have it look pretty decent. In the menu we have 100 FPS. All right, we're looking at 58 FPS, which is not the best, but at the same time, I'm sure people on console are having a worse time. So yeah, we still haven't quite cracked 60 yet. Double kill on integrated graphics, hell yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, with an absolutely terrible mouse. 3 kills, no deaths. Here we frickin' go. All that you need to be good at this game is to play against bots. I have definitely had much better gaming experiences in my time, but I've also had much worse. I am pretty surprised for a thin and light how good this is doing. Let's see if I can improve it a tiny bit here. I want to crack 60 FPS. Graphics quality settings. Is there lower than low? Auto is apparently lower. We could try XESS in performance mode. What does that do for us? Oh, no, you don't want to do that. Oh, wow, that looks terrible. I am up to 65 FPS. It kind of is like someone has smeared Vaseline all over the whole thing. This looks frigging awful. Oh, and that's why you shouldn't try and res people. Actually, I want to give it one more chance. Let's see what happens if we do 100% resolution scale, ultra performance XESS. Okay, 50 FPS. We're up to 60, and this actually looks pretty good. Input latency could be worse. Got a kill. You know, ultra performance XESS, I do think looks better than the 60% resolution scaling. I know that on some other GPUs, you will have better chances without using scaling just because that uses GPU power as well, and like older ones don't necessarily have the AI stuff, but you have an NPU in here and it seems to be doing its job. Is that a bad guy? Is that a bad guy? Oh, I got a kill, yay. One thing that definitely isn't helping our gaming experience that this is just a 60 hertz display. It's, you know, primarily an office laptop, so that isn't surprising in the slightest. But again, it's obviously not a gaming laptop. Yeah, like if your dad comes home with this after his boss bought it, like you can do some Battlefield on it. Your friends will make fun of you and your fingers will burn because it's starting to get really hot right around here, but it is doing it. We're at 66 FPS and I am getting kills. Like, also good job to like EA and DICE, because I know that the last one, there's not a chance this would have happened. Now that we know that it can play Battlefield 6, let's see how the keyboard and trackpad are, because that's probably what the people that actually buy this will be using more often. Man, the keyboard on this is fantastic. There is such great feel for all of these little keys. Like, it's so snappy and satisfying. Little ASMR for you. Yeah, like you can hear. I might give this a super rare A+. I also know that these keys are mildly waterproof. They feel so good. Like it's such a satisfying laptop to type on. You can push on the corner, doesn't matter. Whole key actuates. It's just so incredibly well done. Do they deserve an A+, Andy?
Yeah.
A+? All right. I think that's the first one since the Dragonfly. So like, damn HP, good job. As for the trackpad, it's more of an A. There's nothing wrong with it. The size is good. It takes up about as much space as it can. It is glass topped, but sadly it is not a Force Touch trackpad, which is what could take it into the, you know, the A+ kind of territory. The click feel is solid. You can press it on the top. There's nothing wrong with it, but Force Touch is just better, and it also allows you to configure it to exactly how much force you want to click it. Now, I saw a bunch of you guys complain in our last video that we used Crabbrave, so we are going to try out Rocket League's song as our test song here. Turn it up all the way. Okay, that sounds kind of good actually. There is very little bass, that's for sure, but it's pretty freaking loud. Like, it's actually really loud. It definitely could be worse. Here's the drop though. Underwater. I have definitely heard much worse speakers on a laptop. And it seems like it's really freaking loud. Let's compare it to the MacBook Pro. All right, here's the HP Eiltebook. Okay, the MacBook is way fuller, but it actually, I don't think is as loud. Okay, pretty tinny here, but again, the MacBook is way better. Overall, the speakers on this are pretty decent, if not a little bit tinny. And here we can see exactly what we just heard. The Elitebook, for the most part, is a little bit louder, but it does definitely lose out in the bass department with roll off around 200 Hertz, whereas with the MacBook, you're getting pretty close to 100, and you're gonna notice that octave of bass for sure. For the webcam, we get a 1440p camera, which is quite a bit more resolution than you expect in a stupid little webcam, and dang, that looks pretty darn good. It is exposing for my face. It looks nice and sharp. You can see that we only have directly behind me actually like done up at all. This wall has nothing on it. There's Andy. It still is exposing excellently for my face, even though I'm pointing it into a light and garbage. But overall, like, excellent job, HP. They've been doing a good job with their cameras for a while, and this one is no exception. Oh, and you can turn it off if you want. Great. Another small privacy thing that I do also appreciate is that you can disable the microphone with one click right there, and then people can't hear you or see you. All right, let's have a look at just how repairable this guy is. Oh, HP, did you put screws under this? I'll be so mad if you did. Yeah, look at that. It comes off until right back here. This is even more difficult than usual. How am I supposed to get this off? Oh, never mind. Apparently the clips back here are just super strong. Oh, well, there you go. Good job, HP. Thanks for not putting screws underneath that. In here, we can see an empty slot for the 5G connectivity if you were to option that. We also have our Wi-Fi 7 card over here, which is replaceable. Love to see that. And we have an SSD that is also replaceable. Very nice. Now, of course, our RAM is soldered down because it's at speeds that SODIMM just cannot get to. And also in a laptop this thin, you're gonna have pretty difficult time getting some SODIMM memory in here, although maybe they could do CAM in the future. Now down here though, we have the real star of the show, the 68 watt-hour battery and its incredible battery life. Now my battery test is very simple. It's just looped YouTube playback at 150 nits. So it's not particularly difficult, but it lasted for 24 hours and 46 minutes. That is insane. Again, that is double a MacBook, and I don't charge that, like, I maybe charge that once a week. This right here, I used it as my daily driver laptop for a week and it was over 50% battery when I was done. It's actually insane. Like, you might have problems where you completely lose your charger because you use it never. It is wild that over a week of testing is not even long enough to see how long this lasts. It's actually crazy. Like, HP, I don't know what you did here. And like Intel with your Lunar Lake, like, I heard that most of Qualcomm's gains in battery life were just technological improvements, like process improvements, and not so much the architecture. And I guess this shows that that is true, because hot freaking damn. And one thing to note about the battery is that there are two battery options, the 68 and also a 56 watt hour. Now, I don't know why you would ever choose to go with the 56 watt hour battery. It is a $19 option to get the larger one, but at the same time, the rest of the device is clearly so efficient, you're still gonna have absolutely fantastic battery life with that 56 watt hour. Just be really careful when you're, configuring it on Amazon or Costco or whatever to make sure that you have the big boy. But how much is all of that battery life going to cost you? Well, the MSRP of this one right here is $2,869, which you should absolutely never spend on this laptop. Business laptops have this really stupid thing where they just throw a super high MSRP at the website so that their salespeople can try and get really good deals and stuff with, great big amounts of them getting sold. Never pay that, absolutely never. This one right here is currently on sale for $2,099, which is much better, but also you still should absolutely never pay that. Now, if you step down from the Intel Core Ultra 7 268V to the 258V, you lose 0.2 gigahertz of turbo, but it can be a lot cheaper. At Costco, they are currently having a sale and you can get one with that marginally slower CPU and the 56 watt hour battery for $1,200. And for that, go out and buy it. If you need a notebook that has excellent battery life and decent enough performance, I think this is a no-brainer if you don't want a MacBook Air. But this has better battery life than that and a touchscreen. It's actually like a really good little laptop. And also the keyboard's better than a MacBook Air. The display isn't better. It's like a good competitor. Like, you could weigh your options, and this, again, has better battery life somehow. Insane. Do you know what the best option is though? Checking out our Patreon. We don't have any sponsors on this video yet, so that is the single best way to make sure that we can continue making these. And also, hit like, get subscribed, and of course, have a great old day. Let us know down below what we should do with our set and what tech you want to see on here next.